Welcome back to our channel.
My name is Isak.
And I'm Anne.
And we are spending a year traveling and working in New Zealand.
It's been a while since our last video, but there hasn't been any lack of action.
After almost 5 months of working in Auckland, we are back on the road.
And in this video, we'll recap our latest adventures before going to explore Mavora Lakes.
They're still alive!
It's been a couple of months since the last time we spoke to the camera. We've already been on the road for over a month now since we finished working. But after working for a couple of months, we felt like we just needed a bit of a holiday from any sort of work, so we haven't really been making any of these videos. A lot of people have been saying that they look forward to the next update, and we've been like, oops.
And asking for the next episode, and we're like, ooh.
Yeah, well, about that, didn't film shit.
Well, since the last time Isak spoke to the camera, we really just found our routine working in Auckland, living in Auckland. We had a couple different house sits for a different amount of times, and yeah, just been a bit of a winter flow.
Both our activities and our social life has been quite low. So that's why it was really fun when we started having a lot of friends and family coming over.
First off, our friends Luca and Lena that Isak actually met 2020 in New Zealand came. They've been to Australia for a year and yeah, came over to New Zealand.
They bought a van and hit the road, and around the same time Anne's sister and her friend arrived as well.
Yeah. At this point, I think the time really went fast because it was just all of a sudden everything was over and we had to pack up. We had to say goodbye to a lot of people and yeah, just started our travels.
Yeah, back on the road. So the first thing we did was heading north. I have never been to the Northlands before, Anne has. The previous time she was in New Zealand. But we saw some cool things. We went to Kaiiwi Lakes and start of the season still, so still really quiet everywhere, which was really nice. After the Kaiiwi Lakes, we did a little hike in Duke's Nose, a bit further north, a really cool spot.
Yeah.
And drove all the way to Cape Ringa.
The most northern part of the North Island.
There we went to the lighthouse, we took a swim and went to see the sand dunes. They have some giant sand dunes over there for sunset. And after that we did a very spontaneous hike.
Yeah, first hot hike of the season.
Yes, to Cape Brett. Ended up being a pretty long trail, but very beautiful. And
definitely recommend though.
Yeah, really nice. After that we passed through Auckland again. So with that many friends and family coming over, we figured that a good way for them to see the country would be to have their own van. But rentals are very expensive, so we helped them to buy one that they can hand over between each other as they're coming.
So yeah, on the way down we passed Auckland again, had to fix some more things, and then finally, it's the first time for me, went on to see Hobbiton. We had a fantastic day at Hobbiton, and yeah, pretty much made our way down to
Taranaki, New Plymouth. And
National Park.
Yeah, New Plymouth, what a place. We spent a week there waiting for the weather to clear so we could see the volcano. If you remember one of our first videos, we were there and it was all cloudy and we were like, oh, it's all good, we're gonna be here again to see it later in the year. Coming back, just fully in clouds for a full week, raining, pretty shitty times. So this is about how it's going.
The view was not there.
Now we're just waiting in the hut for better weather, and we have some snackies.
Best part about every hike. As long as the snacks are dry, we're all good.
But it was worth it. We got to see the volcano at the end.
Yeah.
Very, very beautiful, very special place.
A lot of people just walk up and see it, and I don't think they appreciate the views because we walked up 4 times until we had good weather. The first 3 times were just absolute shit.
But we got it. We headed further down towards Wellington, where we met up with Luca and Lena again, our friends. And here's where it gets tricky, because Anne's brother also arrived to be the first to take the van, and his name is also Luca, and he came here together with his girlfriend, who's also named Lena. So all of a sudden we were a group of 2 Lucas and 2 Lenas. So yeah, Luca, Lena, and Luca.
For like a year when we talk about Luca, Lena, we're like, Which ones?
Yeah.
Which ones are we talking about? Let's clarify.
So that might be a bit confusing, but we had some really good times. We crossed over to the South Island together. We went to Kaikoura, did some whale watching, had some good times in the sun.
Yeah, first proper summer day, I would say.
Yeah, definitely. After Kaikoura, we all kind of split up again. Everyone had a few different things they wanted to do, and we wanted to drive the West Coast route down to the mountains. But the West Coast famously experiences a lot of rainfall, and of course, when we almost made the whole West Coast already, New Zealand had one of their heaviest rainfalls that they've had since they started recording, and the road closed. Of course, landslides and everything, floodings, people's cars were washed away. It was a whole mess. And
intense.
Yeah, no sign of the road opening anytime soon.
Well, we had like the best weather in Kaikoura for a couple of days. They had so much rainfall that literally everything was flooded, and all the hikes that we planned on doing, which is part of the reason why we wanted to take the West Coast, were just like too muddy and completely flooded, so there was no sense in hiking or doing anything really.
So yeah, change of plans. We did end up surprising Anne's little sister again, Lena and Julia, because they were in Franz Josef about the same time as us with their Kiwi Experience tour, so we surprised them. So after having a nice day together with them in Franz Josef, we started driving back the way we came again, did the Arthur's Pass once more, and started driving down towards the mountains from the other direction. But that was pretty nice anyway. We stopped at one of my kind of childhood dream spots to visit in Lake Clearwater, Ashburton Lakes, Mount Sunday. For those who don't know, it's Edoras from Lord of the Rings. So we had a perfect day there, and then we continued down past Lake Pukaki. We got a glimpse of Mount Cook, took a swim in the lake. It was really nice weather again. And then eventually back to Wanaka, where we met up with your brother and his girlfriend again, who had been down to Milford Sound.
Yeah. So in the end, we still got to spend some time together because our plans didn't work out. And yeah, we ended up in the same time.
And Lena and Julia, they also had to do the same detour as us, back the way they came to get to Wanaka and Queenstown. But eventually we were all there together, and we went out in Queenstown. We did some things together there. And then we went off alone again. We did some hikes. We went to Heather Jock Hut and summited Mount Alaska. After that, we went to do the Brewster Hut, another very, very cool hut. Got a spontaneous booking there. It's usually sold out, but there was some free spots left that we managed to get. So we ended up meeting in Wanaka again with Julia and Lena, as well as our friends Luca and Lena. And we had some really lovely days with great weather in Wanaka.
We did Coromandel Peak together, which was a big point on our list. We did have a perfect night for it. Very clear, very quiet, and yeah, lots of stars.
And that brings us finally, after this whole messy story, to where we are right now. In Kingston, outside of Queenstown, still on Lake Wakatipu, on our way to Mavora Lakes. And yeah, let's hit the road.
1.5 hours of gravel road ahead.
Yeah.
Very much looking forward to that.
Yes. It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be a cool spot. Staying there for the night and then Te Anau tomorrow. Let's go. On the road again. So we've been really lucky starting our road trip again, that we're still a bit out of season. So it's been quite calm. We've been getting a lot of places to ourselves still, and that's been a really nice thing. But now shoulder season is starting to run out, and we're starting to get into the actual main season, and you can definitely feel it. Like, campsites are really getting packed, and yeah, different game. It's gonna be interesting to see how much people are gonna be around for summer. Let's go.
Goodbye, money.
It's gonna be 35 kilometers of this gravel road. Made it to a very special place. You'll see what I mean in just a moment. I don't know whether someone has noticed, but I'm a little bit of a Lord of the Rings nerd. And that brings us to this little spot. And I think some of you might recognize it if you've seen the movie. I think this is it right here.
What makes you think that? Love it.
Maybe someone recognizes this.
Now we get to my favorite part. Lunch.
Cool. Lunch stop in a pretty cool place. And found some new friends. And in here, muffins are toasting on the stove, and we're gonna make some crispy tofu sticks with peanut and sriracha dip. Welcome to the next spot. This is the area where we will be camping tonight, and it's pretty windy. And it's also another movie location. Of course, that's the theme of this video, I guess. But it's really pretty here. So this is yet another movie location. There's lots of them around here. A little hiding tree right here.
I would hide behind this tree if I were Frodo.
So next thing we're doing is finding a good place to park up for the night, and first thing tomorrow we're going into Tiano.
We're gonna have to go and validate our tickets for Milford Track, which we're starting the day after.
So,
First great walk of the season.
Good morning. We found a cute campsite for tonight, and it's now the next day and we're about to go into Tiano. But before that, I wanted to show you one last piece of news. Self-contained, baby. Let's go.
Yes.
We got it fixed in Auckland just last minute before we left again, so now we can freedom camp.
Yeah, so enjoy yourself then.
Yes, thank you so much.